The dark side has three desires. When you go into your unconscious mind, you'll start to see that beneath your everyday concerns, it's like these three impulses, these three drives that are always present. The first one is you have this desire for safety, the second one is pleasure, and the third one is power. When you start to understand the nature of the dark side, you'll start to see these three drives active in everything you do, especially when the dark side starts to take over the conscious mind. So let's look at number one, the dark side law of safety. And the dark side's looking for safety in two respects. It's looking for safety on the physical level. Road rage is a good example. Somebody runs you off the road and you become angry. Well, the dark side takes it as a threat to your physical life. And if anything threatens your physical life, the dark side is either going to want to run away and hide, or it's going to want to kill, quite frankly, inflict violence on people. That's what the dark side does. It's also looking out for your safety psychologically. And it often tries to do this by protecting the self-image. This is the source of a lot of defense mechanisms to protect the ego. If anything makes us feel less safe, if anything makes us feel threatened, the dark side will do whatever it has to do to inoculate us from those things that could harm us. It will create illusions, delusions, flights of fancy. It will physically leave the area in which the threat exists. It will block people on social media. It will block them with phone numbers, emails. It will physically move states. It will do anything it possibly can to keep us psychologically safe. It can also obviously attack people psychologically, damage their reputation, try to, as we used to say when I was growing up, cut people down. The dark side will do anything to make you feel safe. And it's not playing by societal morals. It's not civilized. It doesn't exist in civilization. It's an animalistic entity. So it's safety by any means necessary. Now, of course, this is mitigated by our traditions. It's mitigated by the morals that have been inculcated us from our parents and teachers and so forth. And that's important. But you have to know underneath that, the dark side, if it didn't have the threat of prison, death, retaliation, it would be an absolute tyrant. It would do anything to keep you safe. Jung wrote that the dark side, he called it the shadow. Now, the dark side, I think, encompasses the shadow and it encompasses not just the Jungian shadow, but the dark side is made up of dark characteristics and inferiorities. So any inferiorities we have, that makes us psychologically unsafe. So you'll very often see people compensate for that with defense mechanisms. A key point is this. If safety means being a bully, the dark side will bully, right? If it means playing the victim, the dark side will play the victim. We're going to touch upon this more later. So that's dark side rule number one. Stay tuned for dark side rule or law number two.